to Urdu Seekhiye. I'm your host, Shireen, and of course, Amr is with us. We're back with the last part, part 6, of our 6-part series, in which we discuss the nazm by Allama Iqbal called Ek Makda Aur Makhi. As always, if you're joining us for the first time, please go back 5 parts and start with part 1, or maybe even episode 1, so you can get a better understanding of the intention of this podcast. Just to remind everyone of the intention of this podcast, it is mainly to introduce myself and the listeners to Urdu from the beginner to high beginner levels. I know every now and again I get carried away and introduce some not so beginner level topics, but I can't help it. While this effort is a personal learning journey, I also want to try and include as many people as possible, and I especially want to include others who are like me. Those who come from a South Asian family, but don't really have the confidence to interact with the language. Recently, and throughout this journey, I've received several encouraging emails, so I thank you for that. I respond to every single one, even if it is a bit late. Lately, I've had some requests to focus on grammar, and I definitely intend to do that with the Urdu Seekhiye YouTube channel, so please stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for your patience. Okay, with that, let's get into part 6 of our nazm, Ek Makda Aur Makhi. Assalamu alaikum, Amir. Shuru kare?
Walaikum assalam. Ji zarur.
Let's do it.
So the first 4 lines for this part are Makhi ne suni jab ye khushamad to pasiji. Makhi ne suni jab ye khushamad to pasiji. बोली कि नहीं आपसे मुझको कोई खटका. बोली कि नहीं आपसे मुझको कोई खटका. इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. सच ये है कि दिल तोड़ना अच्छा नहीं होता. सच ये है कि दिल तोड़ना अच्छा नहीं होता. If you recall, the last 2 lines from part 5 were the spider talking about the fly's beauty, her dress, her qualities, and her sharp appearance. He left no stone unturned when paying her compliments. Keep that in mind as we look at the first line from this part. Hopefully, you are noticing several words repeating, which is excellent for language learning. So the first line is मक्खी ने सुनी जब ये खुशामद तो पसीजी. मक्खी ने सुनी जब ये खुशामद तो पसीजी. मक्खी ने सुनी means the fly heard. Jab means when. So मक्खी ने सुनी jab means when the fly heard. To say this in a conversational way, we would say jab मक्खी ने सुनी. Jab मक्खी ने सुनी, when the fly heard. And what did she hear? Ye khushamad. Do you remember what khushamad means?
So earlier we had said, देखो जिसे दुनिया में खुशामद का है बंदा. देखो जिसे दुनिया में खुशामद का है बंदा. And that means whomever you see in this world is a person of flattery. So खुशामद means flattery.
Right. So मक्खी ने सुनी जब ये खुशामद तो पसीजी. मक्खी ने सुनी जब ये खुशामद तो पसीजी. Let's start with pasiji. We often pair pasijna with dil, which means heart. So dil pasijna means your heart melts or it softens. So when the fly heard this flattery, her heart melted or she softened. In everyday Urdu, to say when the fly heard this flattery, she softened, we'd say जब मक्खी ने ये खुशामद सुनी तो पसीजी. जब मक्खी ने ये खुशामद सुनी तो पसीजी. As the spider is showering her with all this praise, he's obviously hoping that the fly gives in. She had not yet softened, but the next line indicates that she fell for his words.
Okay, so I'll say the next line with the one we just covered. मक्खी ने सुनी जब ये खुशामद तो पसीजी. मक्खी ने सुनी जब ये खुशामद तो पसीजी. बोली कि नहीं आपसे मुझको कोई खटका. बोली कि नहीं आपसे मुझको कोई खटका. So I know all the words in this line except khatka. Using context clues, if I had to guess what khatka means, I'd say it means issue or problem. So first, let me rephrase this sentence. Instead of boli ke nahi aapse mujhko koi khatka, I'd say बोली कि मुझको आपसे कोई खटका नहीं. बोली कि मुझको आपसे कोई खटका नहीं. Boli means she said. Ke means that. Mujhko aapse means I with you. Koi khatka nahi means not any issues. She's basically saying, I don't have any problems with you. I don't have any issues with you. We're good. Is that right, Amir?
Yeah, pretty much. The issue that you're having with khatka is quite close to खतरा या फिक्र कि आपसे मुझे कोई खटका नहीं है, कोई खतरा नहीं है, something of that sort. It's quite close to khatra.
I see. Okay, and khatra means danger. So actually, it might be more like I don't consider you a danger. I don't. So not even like I don't have a problem with you, but I don't see you as dangerous. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it.
So I happen to look up khatka actually. So obviously it's a little nuanced. It's quite close to khatra, but it's something like a suspicion and also a doubt. So it's obviously if अगर आपको किसी चीज़ का खतरा हो, so you will be suspicious about it, you would be doubtful about it, but the word khatka in itself would be something of that you are not exactly scared about it, but you have a little bit of suspicion, which makes sense over here because that fly was full of suspicion about the spider's intentions, and now she's like, no, I don't have a lot of suspicions about you, right?
I completely understand what you mean, but I wish there was.
I was actually wondering why he used khatka instead of khatra because khatra would be in the same meter, so it would do a wonderful job over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think why he used khatka is because of the suspicion, because she was quite suspicious of his intentions, and that's not there anymore.
Aha, which, yeah, the Koshamad worked. Okay, so boli ke nahi aapse mujhko koi khatka. I have no, yeah, like all my doubts, all my suspicion has left. Okay,
Yeah, it's gone.
understood. We know previously she had said no to his invitation. She had said, oh no, you can go fool someone else. I'm not going to be falling in your jal. And jal means trap. So she had said, I won't be falling in your trap. And now, before immediately accepting his invitation, she's slowly changing her mind. She's like, to be honest, I don't see you as dangerous. Then she says,
इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. इनकार means to refuse. For example, मैंने शिरीन को दावत पे बुलाया मगर उन्होंने इनकार कर दिया. मैंने शिरीन को दावत पे बुलाया मगर उन्होंने इनकार कर दिया. I invited Shireen to a dawat, which is basically it could be a ceremony, it could be anything, it could be a party. So I invited her to a party and she refused. उन्होंने इनकार कर दिया. की आदत, इनकार की आदत means of habit. So if I say inkar ki aadat, that would be a habit of refusing. So most often you'll see the post position ki paired with aadat.
right, so here are some examples of good habits. Jaldi sone ki aadat. Jaldi sone ki aadat. Or jaldi uthne ki aadat. Jaldi uthne ki aadat.
Ah yes, jaldi sone ki aadat. Jaldi sone ki aadat means the habit of sleeping early. Something that I don't have. Knowing that jaldi sone ki aadat means the habit of sleeping early, What would jaldi उठने की आदत mean? जल्दी उठने की आदत. It means the habit of waking up early. Then there is चीनी कम खाने की आदत. चीनी कम खाने की आदत.
So that literally means the habit of eating a little sugar, basically reducing your sugar intake. Let's give one more. वर्जिश करने की आदत. वर्जिश करने की आदत.
Oh, another really good habit. वर्जिश करने की आदत. वर्जिश करने की आदत means the habit of exercising. Varzish means exercise, and varzish karna means to exercise.
Okay, so let's return to our आदत. इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. So, इनकार की आदत means the habit of saying no, or the habit of refusing. I believe we've seen the word samajhna before. Samajhna means to understand. It can also mean to think. So she's saying, इनकार की आदत को समझती हूँ बुरा मैं. Literally, that would be translated as, the habit of refusing, I think it bad. Basically, she thinks it's bad manners to refuse an invitation.
Exactly. Let's provide a few more sentences with the word samajna. If I wanted to say, I think the habit of being late is bad, I'd say, देर करने की आदत को बुरा समझता हूं मैं. या in conversational Urdu, मैं देर करने की आदत को बुरा समझता हूं. Did you know that I said samajhta because I'm a male? Der means late, and der karna means to, well, it means to be late, but literally it means to do late, to do lateness, something of that sort. But yeah, it translates to be late. How do you say, I think the habit of sleeping late is bad? That would be, देर से सोने की आदत को बुरा समझता हूं मैं. और कॉन्वर्सेशनली, मैं देर से सोने की आदत को बुरा समझता हूं. Shireen, how do you say I think the habit of eating too much is bad? Or I think the habit of overeating is bad?
That would be, हद से ज़्यादा खाने की आदत को बुरा समझती हूँ मैं. Or, as you said, conversationally, you would put that मैं in the front, right? So, मैं हद से ज़्यादा खाने की आदत को बुरा समझती हूँ. When I say मैं in the front, it's not flowing. हद से ज़्यादा खाने की आदत को बुरा समझती हूँ मैं. मैं हद से ज़्यादा खाने की आदत को बुरा समझती हूँ? Yeah?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. All right. So again, that's मैं हद से ज़्यादा खाने की आदत को बुरा समझती हूँ. I like this phrase, हद से. So when you say हद से ज़्यादा, that conveys this idea of overcapacity or too much. We'll provide a few more examples of हद से for our patrons. So please head over to Patreon to see what additional goodies you can get while also supporting Urdu Seekhiye. So, for example, if I say this to my younger brother, तुम हद से बाहर निकल रहे हो. तुम हद से बाहर निकल रहे हो. If you remember, bahar means out or outside. Nikalna means to come out. So I imagine had to mean a line. And if you go outside the line, then you're crossing the line. Had se bahar nikalna means to cross the line. Tum had se bahar nikal rahe ho means you're crossing the line. And if I had a sister and I wanted to say the same thing to her, I'd say, Tum had se bahar nikal rahi ho. Tum had se bahar nikal rahi ho. Again, meaning you're crossing the line. Amir, would you agree more or less with this explanation? Also, do you have any other sentences with had se or had se zyada? I feel like this is a very nice phrase for poetry, like crossing the line in love or in anger.
Of course, Shireen, I do agree with it. If I had to translate it literally, I would say you are getting out of the ordained boundaries. That is what had se would mean, because had means like an ordained boundary.
Oh.
For example, the boundary between uh, two countries is called a sarhad.
Oh, wow.
That also has the word had. So had is kind of like a boundary. Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay, I did not know that. Okay, and can you give us maybe one example sentence with the had or had se zyada? Maybe had se zyada.
हद से ज़्यादा तो आपने बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दे दिया है। मैं हद का एग्जाम्पल दे सकता हूँ कि आपने फॉर एग्जाम्पल हद कर दी। दैट वुड मीन यू हैव लाइक दिस इज द लिमिट मैन।
Yes, that is a very great example because that is super common. Like I hear that phrase all the time in movies and well, in movies. Yes. Okay. Yeah. The had kar
आप
di.
बेहद भी बोल सकते हैं उससे, लेकिन फिर दैट वुड बी जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट हद अ लॉट कि बेहद भी एक लफ्ज़ होता है व्हिच इज़ कंबाइनिंग द पर्शियन प्रीफिक्स बे व्हिच मींस विदाउट एंड हद मींस लिमिट, सो दैट वुड मीन लिमिटलेस। लेकिन वो इस तरह इस्तेमाल होता है कि आप बेहद बदतमीज़ हैं, यू आर लिमिटलेसली बदतमीज़।
Battamiz. Just rude? Battamiz?
बदतमीज़ या मतलब you've got no manners.
No manners. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine somebody saying you are limitlessly mannerless. That would be so beautiful.
Yes. Oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, we can go with you. I'm sure we can go on and on about different examples. So yeah, we'll stop it
Stop
there.
there. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next line. सच ये है कि दिल तोड़ना अच्छा नहीं होता। सच ये है कि दिल तोड़ना अच्छा नहीं होता। सच ये है कि means the truth is that तोड़ना means to break. And do you remember what dil means? Dil means heart. So dil todna means to break a heart, to break someone's heart. Acha nahi hota means is not good. It's not a good thing. And what's not a good thing? Dil todna. So, sach ye hai कि दिल तोड़ना अच्छा नहीं होता means the truth is that breaking someone's heart is not good. Let's now move to the next four lines, the finale. ये बात कही और उड़ी अपनी जगह से। ये बात कही और उड़ी अपनी जगह से। पास आई तो मकड़े ने उछल कर उसे पकड़ा। पास आई तो मकड़े ने उछल कर उसे पकड़ा। भूखा था कई रोज से अब हाथ जो आई। भूखा था कई रोज से अब हाथ जो आई। आराम से घर बैठ के मक्खी को उड़ाया। आराम से घर बैठ के मक्खी को उड़ाया। So sad.
But I feel complete now. I've been waiting to get to this ending. So it is complete. Now we know. So the first line in this set of four lines is ये बात कही और उड़ी अपनी जगह से. ये बात कही और उड़ी अपनी जगह से. This happens to be a line that's written in a conversational manner, so no need to rearrange anything here. If you remember, baat can mean a thing or matter. Gehna means to say. Ordana, we learned in the previous part, it means to fly. Apni is used to show possession. So if I say, मैं अपनी cycle चला रही हूँ, I'm saying I'm riding my bike, apni cycle. Again, to save time, I'll provide more examples of apni on our Patreon page. There's an interesting distinction in the gender if you're talking about your own self or referring to others. So you'll definitely want to check that out. Okay, so ye baat kahi aur udi apni jagah se means she said this thing and flew from her spot. her location. Jaga means location.
Then it says, पास आई तो मकड़े ने उछलकर उसे पकड़ा. पास आई तो मकड़े ने उछलकर उसे पकड़ा. पास आना means to come close. Uchhalna means to jump. And pakarna means to grab, to hold, to capture. Here it means to capture. So पास आई तो मकड़े ने उछलकर उसे पकड़ा. पास आई तो मकड़े ने उछलकर उसे पकड़ा means as she came closer, the spider jumped and captured her.
Ah, alas, we know the fate of the fly. So the next line is connected to the last line. I'll read the two together and we'll look at them one by one. भूखा था कई रोज से, अब हाथ जो आई, आराम से घर बैठ के मक्खी को उड़ाया. I want to try to distinguish that, like, there's one idea, भूखा था कई रोज से, अब हाथ जो आई, आराम से घर बैठ के मक्खी को उड़ाया. Yeah, okay, so bhuka tha means he was hungry. Tha is the past tense of hona, our to be verb. I'll provide more examples of tha on the handout, so be sure to download that from the website. Kai roz means several days. So bhuka tha kai roz se literally means he was hungry since a few days, meaning he had been hungry for several days. Ab hath jo aayi. Hath ana is an idiom. When something hath aayi, that means it comes into your possession or under your control. So in this example, the makhi comes into the makra's possession. He literally captures the fly. So he says, Ab hath jo aayi, now that she's in my hands. So hath could mean hand or hands. In this case, it's quite literal. But hath ana isn't always so literal. Amir, do you have an example sentence of hath ana that isn't so literal? Or maybe it is always literal?
I would say there's a little bit of context around hath ana. So if you've been like pursuing something for a really long time and then you finally get it, for example, ये खजाना बड़ी मुश्किल से हाथ आया. This treasure, I got my hands on it with a lot of difficulty. So that is kind of the context, and that is the context that you see here as well, where this spider had been trying so hard to get the makhi, and finally he was able to get her. So in that context, uske haath आना, हाथ लगना भी used किया जाता है.
But so, this idea of the hands, like the hand, like, is it always this idea of like it's in my hands now? Is it always in my hands? Hat ana, or, sometimes you acquire something that you can't actually put in your hands. Trying to think if there's an example of that.
हाँ, जैसे आप कह सकते हैं कि ये, for example, ये कामयाबी बड़ी मुश्किल से हाथ आई है. I got this success with a lot of difficulty. So that is an abstract idea which you are getting into your hands.
That's excellent. Yeah. Okay. That settles it. I had a feeling that, there are examples of using, like you could say hat ana with anything really. It doesn't have to be literally something that you can touch. So,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's now look at the last line. So we know what ab haath jo aayi means. Now that she's in his possession and now that she's captured, आराम से घर बैठ के मक्खी को उड़ाया. आराम से घर बैठ के मक्खी को उड़ाया. आराम means comfort. आराम से means with comfort. बैठना means to sit or to stay put. In this case, it's paired with ghar baith ke. So he stayed in his home. Ghar means home. So ghar baithna means to stay home or to remain at home. Now we have makhi ko udaya, which is so beautiful in itself. It's an idiomatic phrase, and it means he ate the fly with great delight. Udana literally means to fly, but often urana is used to express this idea that a thing is being enjoyed or is being done with delight. Also, I'd like to add that urana here adds to the beauty of the poem because makhi ud ke aayi, the fly came flying, and when you say makhi ko udaya, you basically, or Allama Iqbal is basically using the same verb, urana, to express two different ideas. The first idea is that she came flying, and the second idea is that he ate her wastefully or delightfully. So that's amazing.
Yeah, no, that I picked up on that too, but I didn't realize the difference. But you're right, it was very well done. And so, as you talk about Orana and this idea that it means to do it with delight, and you hinted at doing it wastefully. So, that reminds me of another example. I often hear Bese Orana. And so, Bese Orana means spending a lot of money. Depending on who is saying it, it can also mean to waste money. So, Orana, while it does indicate that someone's enjoying the thing that they're doing, the idea of it being wasteful can also be true.
Also, udana and urana are a little different. Udna is to fly, and urana means to make something fly. So when you say aapne paise udaye, so you're basically saying you made the money fly.
That was a good distinction to bring in, because I would think that that would be very confusing to someone who's hearing these words for the first time. All right, well, one last thing I want to bring up before we close. So in this video, if you watch the video, the one that I linked with this poem of that little girl reciting this poetry, at the end, they present the moral of the story as keeping away or staying away from bad friends. But I would say the better moral of this story is to maybe trust your initial instinct, perhaps, or don't give in to your naive ways. Any thoughts about that, Amir?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Yeah, if you look at the entire poem, that's what it means. That there's a whole world out there that's trying to trap you, and you should trust your instincts, and you should not get trapped. Basically, yeah.
Agreed. Awesome. All right, well, that does it for our 6-part nazm, Ek Makra or Makhi. We hope you've enjoyed this poem. Please let us know how you've liked it by visiting our page and making any comments there. Let us know if you'd like to see more poems like this. Personally, I learned a lot of new vocabulary words, learned a bit about Allama Iqbal, and some norms about inviting guests over to your home. So thank you very much for joining us. As always, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes if you're enjoying the podcast. Download the free handout from the website, www.urdusikhiye.com. Be sure to also check out Amer's podcast, YouTube channel, and Instagram account, urdu.dan. Thank you very much again. Any last words, Amer?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I think this has been a great experience for me.
Me too.
Working with you and being able to contribute to this really valuable podcast. And Urdu Sikhiye, it has been an honor.
Aww.
मुझे खुशी है मैं इसका हिस्सा बना. I'm glad to have been a part of this.
मुझे भी बहुत खुशी हुई ये पॉडकास्ट आपके साथ करते हुए.
Really glad. Thank you, folks.
खुदा हाफिज.